Hello and welcome back. Today we're not messing around, we're jumping straight into another 5k race. I'm going to take you with me on this one and let you know how it went. So this is the first race in the Phoenix Striders Summer Series for 2025. I'm going to try and make all of the races that I can. I think I'm going to have to skip the next one because we're giving blood on the same day, but we'll try and make all the other ones, see how many points we can score for the Pitsy team. It's a beautiful evening for this race and I'm feeling really good. I've been doing a lot of work to try and bring my 5k time down, so we're going to give this our best shot. It's a bit of a hilly course, so just going to aim for around 20 minutes and see how we get on. So to get a sub 20-minute 5k here, we need to keep our average pace below 4-minute kilometers. And as you can see, starting this race, we're going out way too quick, but that is because we've got that adrenaline kicking in and we're also starting on a downward hill slope. This straight at the bottom of the map there that you can see is all downhill. It's quite steep at the top and then it gradually gets a bit more flat, but the whole thing is downhill, so we can really put our foot down there. It's a 2-lap course, so we're going to go through this hill another 2 times and you'll see by that point we really pick up the pace there. Okay, so we're around the corner now and more onto the flat part of the course. We're going to hit the hills soon, but for now we're settling into a bit more of a sensible pace and I'm just going to try and hold on to that and see how we feel. I've never done this race before, so I don't actually know what the course is like. So I'm using this first lap as a bit of a gauge, and then we'll see how we want to run the second half once we know where the hills are. This course is 100% trail, which is new to me. I've done some races before which are part road, part trail, but I've never done one that's fully trail. So this is a new experience for me. I don't think it's going to cause me too many problems, only because I do a bit of trail around where I live. But obviously on the trail, you do run a little bit slower. So that 20 minutes might be a bit of a struggle to hit. Okay, so this little section of the course is quite narrow, can't really overtake, and everyone's sort of slowed down a little bit going through here. So pace has come down a bit, but once we get through, we're going to try and pick up the pace a bit more. So coming off the back of Brighton Marathon and falling short of my sub 3 hour goal, I've had a think about what I need to do to get myself into sub 3 shape. And I've come to the realization that I probably need to get quicker over all of the distances, not just the marathon. So I'm going to really work on getting quicker at 5 and 10k during this period where I've got nothing booked in. The next race that I've actually got booked in is going to be Manchester Marathon, which isn't for a year's time. So right now I'm going to really focus on getting quicker at that 5k time. So things like this, trail runs, 5k races and interval sessions are really going to help me out. So you'll probably see a lot more of these 5k races coming up on the channel. I'm going to try and do as many as I can. Kilometre 1 is in the bag with a 3:46. It's a bit quicker than the goal pace that we're going for, but we had that downhill at the start and we haven't quite gone up the hills yet. So the next kilometre with all the hills will probably be quite a bit slower. So we're coming up to the first hill of the 2 throughout the course. As I say, there's 2 laps to this course, so I'm going to do this hill again. But I wasn't sure exactly where the hills were, how steep they were. But this first one is quite a gradual incline. It does get a bit steep at the top, but it's nothing we can't handle. We got through that first hill without too much problem, but now we're heading straight into the second hill, which is a bit more steep but not quite as long, so we just need to push through and get to the top. Okay, we've made it to the top of the second hill now, and from what I knew about the course, which was very little, there was two main hills and then the rest of it was flat, and then you have the downhill at the end of each lap. So I knew at this point I was pretty much in the clear hill-wise, so now I was trying to pick off as many people as I could, and then when we get to the downhill section, we can really put our foot down. I've spotted the next person I want to get in front of. He's a little bit ahead of me, but I'm going to try and catch him up. As you can see, he manages to keep ahead of me for quite some time before we do catch up with him. It's been a really hot week this week, but this race kicked off at 7:30 p.m, which meant that it was still sunny and light and warm, but it was cooling down and we had a nice cool breeze during the race, which made it optimal for a good time on this course. Kilometre number 2 is coming in at a 4:26, which is slower than the goal pace, but we made up for that in the first kilometre, and we've also had all of the hills pretty much in this lap, in this kilometre. So yeah, happy with the way that went. We've got that big downhill section twice and only the hills one more time, so hopefully we can bring our average pace below the 4-minute mark. Nearly done with the first lap here, and I know that downhill section is coming, so I'm just mentally preparing myself to really start putting my foot down when we get there. Round the corner and I can see the end of the first lap now. It's time to really put our foot down and make up a bit of time that we lost going up the hills in kilometre 2. I feel like it doesn't really translate to the camera, but this downhill part was really steep going down. As you can see, my pace has plummeted to sub 3 minutes, which is way too quick for me. I wouldn't usually be able to do that, but we're taking big strides, trying not to fall over, because if we do at this point, we're going to really do some damage to ourselves. About halfway down the hill, it starts to ease off and stop being so steep. And as you can see, our pace is starting to settle in as well. You can't really see, but that guy I was trying to catch, we are pretty much neck and neck. We're both trying not to let each other get in front, but we'll see who comes out on top at the end. There we go, the first lap is done. Just need to do that one more time and then we'll be at the end. Let's see if we can push and get a good second lap in and get that sub 20. For the rest of this race, it looks a bit like I'm in no man's land, but that guy that I just overtook going down the hill, he is literally hot on my tails, and I'm really trying to not ease off on the pace to make sure he doesn't get back in front.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed this race and I really enjoyed the course, so I want to give a shout out to the Phoenix Striders Club who set this up. It wouldn't be possible without them. I'm going to try and make all of their Summer Series races, and I'm also going to try and make all of the Pitsy Club Crown to Crown races as well. So there'll probably be quite a few 5k race recaps getting put up on the channel.
Well done. Thank you.
Boom, we've come through kilometre 3 in 3:44. We've really made up some time on that downhill section, which is great, but we're now at kilometre 4, which is the hardest one for me in any 5k race, and we've got the uphill section again during this kilometre. So just going to push through, and then when we get to the end of the hills, I'm going to really try and pick up the pace and then get down that last hill section with a good sprint finish.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Well done. Cheers.
Here comes round 2 of the hills. I'm actually feeling quite good at this stage. I'm usually feeling quite worn out at the 4th kilometre mark, but I'm feeling good at this point. So just going to try and push as much as I can up these hills and get them done.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there we go, we're at the top of the hills, we've finished the hardest part of this course, we now just need to get to the end with a nice strong finish. Kilometre 4 has come in at a 4:37. Again, we've lost quite a lot of time going up the hills, but I'm going to really try and put my foot down from here on and try and get back down to a 4-minute average pace and then try and finish around 20 minutes.
Thank you.
So during this part of the course, I knew that it was pretty much flat now until we get to that last straight. So what I was telling myself is this is the end of the race. The downhill section's not going to count because it's just a sprint finish and it's going to be easy going down that hill. The guy that I overtook is still right behind me. Still don't want him to catch me, so I'm really trying to put my foot down here.
Fantastic running, guys.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Come on, Pitsy.
Well done.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, you said
So I remembered from the first lap that once I start to see the sun poking through the trees, that means I'm getting to the turning point where I can turn and go down that lovely downhill straight. So I know here I'm coming up soon and I'm gearing myself up to give it a good sprint finish.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, here we go. We're on the final straight now. Pace has plummeted down again. We're going to try and keep this for as long as we can. I checked my watch at the top of the hill quickly and I could see we were a little bit slow. We're not quite there to get the sub 20, but if I can give it a really strong effort down here, we might just get over the line in a 20-minute time. So at this point, I realised how long this straight section was. I think I'd completely forgot from that first lap. Turned around that corner at the top of the hill, started to really put my foot down. At this point, I realised I probably can't sprint for that long, so pace is starting to ease off a bit, but I can hear the person behind me's footsteps. I really don't want to lose my place this close to the finish, so we're just going to push and give it our all. And there we go, we've come through the finish in 20:31. A little bit slower than I was hoping, but really happy with that still. It's the first time running this course, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. I'm sure I'll come back again and I'll get that sub 20 one day.
Well done, buddy. Could hear you behind me.
For now, we'll take that. We've come in 8th place, second for the Pitsy team, and yeah, super happy with my performance there.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hold on.
Oh.